The warning "stop safely and check power supply" in a Hyundai electric vehicle means that there is something wrong with a 12-volt battery, and there are several things you may need to know before you hook up a charger to that small battery or try replacing it. First of all, this is a long-standing problem that started in model year 2022. At first, Hyundai tried not to make a fuss about it and issued a TSB number 2401023H with the software update and possible ICCU replacement. ICCU is basically the DC-DC converter, and it's a very expensive part that seems to be faulty. It stops charging the 12-volt battery, and this leads to numerous random warnings and lights. Apparently, stop safely and check power supply being one of them. Anyway, the issue continued into the model year 2025, so the company had to issue a recall number 272. This recall gives an updated TSB number 2401086H. Now, I will post the TSB numbers in the description so you can Google them and find the PDF files issued by NHTSA, which is very handy. So the updated TSB is quite long, and basically there is a MOSFET or transistor that fails inside the ICCU at some point, and it triggers the ICCU fuse, which cuts off the charging power from the 12-volt battery. Anyway, you don't need to know all this because this is a safety issue and it's solved under the recall 272 free of charge. So you can read all the TSBs and recall documents. Meanwhile, I want to tell you what to do if you see this message. First of all, if you're under warranty, don't do anything. Even if it's a weak 12-volt battery, it will be replaced for free, so call the dealership. If you are not under warranty, the problem may actually be with the low 12-volt battery, especially if it's older than 3 years, and the dealership will charge you an insane amount of money for replacing it and for diagnosing the car. So before you do anything, you may just charge the small battery with an external charger and see if this issue comes back after several days of driving. If it does, the problem is not just with the battery, but with the ICCU. At this point, there is no need to do anything on your own. First of all, please remember that driving your car is not safe. At some point, when the 12-volt battery is completely depleted, the car will just shut off and you will lose all braking and steering power. So there is a very high risk of collision. The best thing is to call the dealership, describe the situation, and ask them to organize towing your car to the service department. Then they will go through the recall 272 and tell you if it applies in your case. If it does, all the repairs are free of charge. They will update the software, then replace the blown fuse and see if the ICCU actually malfunctions. If it does, they will also replace the ICCU. But if the recall doesn't apply, ask the dealership to give a written notice about this and contact Hyundai USA directly. I know cases when dealerships wanted to charge clients for ICCU replacement. While this could be covered by this recall or extended warranty, contacting the Hyundai main dealer in the USA solved the problem and all repairs were eventually covered.